Guys, Hayden here with another book review. If you guys appreciate this content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment maybe of a book you'd like me to do. Today I want to talk about a book called Rest. The subtitle is Why You Get More Done When You Work Less. It's by last name Pang. I forget the first name. Something Pang. But it's a good book. I got it as an audiobook. It's a little bit less. I think it was like $5.99. So it just kind of attracted me for the price and just what the topic was, because I was at the time on my week of school, which was specifically talking about stress management and rest being one of those ways to relieve stress. This book was a good meditation. I definitely recommend it for the research that was done. It's very similar writing style to Malcolm Gladwell. I really appreciated the level of effort that was given to research into the topic of rest, its benefits, case studies, peer-reviewed articles that you could tell this person had read in studying about rest and what he decided to inevitably write about it. Some of the key ideas that Mr. Pang or Pong, forgive me, I don't know which one it is, brings up is that rest is something that, number one, it's overlooked. Rest is important and it's overlooked. You think about the 10,000 hour rule, which Malcolm Gladwell brings up in his book, and other people have brought up the 10,000 hour rule as how to be super successful. It's something that takes about 10,000 hours. Well, he brings in the idea that, yeah, the 10,000 hours of work was important, but what about like I think it's come out to like 40,000 hours overall of sleep and recreational activity that was done in the midst of that 10,000 hours that was put towards becoming great at something. So the idea that he brings up is we place such precedence on this doing of ours and forget that rest is the thing that gives us the fuel to be productive in that which we're pursuing. And I love that idea that he brought forth there. Studies have shown that rest can produce deeper creativity. You have people like Dolly who would sleep with a key in hand and fall asleep in a rocking chair, and as soon as they would fall asleep, drop the heavy key, wake them up, and it inspired much of his work. He would forcibly put himself into dreamlike states. Edgar Allan Poe did some of the same things. You have Mr. Churchill, who would take naps during the midst of war. He still kept his nap time. You have these heavy hitters who allowed rest to take precedence in their life, and through so doing, accomplished a great deal. And that's really the thesis of this book, is take some extra time to rest. Another idea that he brings forth is that there have been ET scans done, and different parts of the brain are actually active when you're resting or doing something recreational. There are different parts of the brain at work whenever that happens. Forgive me for the noise, it's getting hot. I've turned my AC off to do these, but man, it's getting hot, so it might start really annoying you. But oh well, I'm feeling a little better. I'll turn it back off here in a second, but you can see I'm really sweating here. So anyways, yeah, rest, guys. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, the ET scans that were done of the brain, and that there's different parts of the brain active when you're resting or doing something recreational than when you are doing your work. And that before this ET scan was done, people thought that when you rested, what happened was your brain essentially shut off, and what they've ended up finding is no, your brain is still just as active, but it's active about other things. And I thought that was pretty cool. He goes into a good bit of science on that, which I don't remember all of it, but the beginning of the book is pretty scientific in the perspectives that he brings and to the studies that he brings. And then he goes into the art world a little bit, talking about how rest can produce deeper creativity, and a pretty good argument as to if you're an artist or a creative, that rest should be an important priority for you to keep, because it'll help you. He also goes into the fact that you can be more productive when resting, that there were scientists who had some form of rest, or what he calls deep play, playing tennis, rock climbing, some type of hobby that really just engulfs you, this deep play concept, that scientists who found and had some sort of deep play where they weren't engulfed in their work constantly were the scientists that had the biggest types of breakthroughs, and that some of these breakthroughs seem to have come serendipitously, that it didn't necessarily mean that it didn't necessarily correlate that because you put more hours in and worked harder, you achieved great things or came to amazing insights or created a wonderful work of art, but that these things were actually more favored towards those who had rest as a priority within their life and had the balance of that because of less stress, because they were able to shut off a part of their brain that was constantly overworking fully. They were then, whenever they came back to it, able to accomplish more because that part of their brain was refreshed. And he brings up this idea of incubation, that incubation takes place in the midst of learning new things, eureka moments. Before the eureka happens, first we receive some form of data and we're thinking about it, reminiscing on it, and then it incubates within us before then it's synthesized into our actual knowledge. And that this takes a period of time, and rest is a big part of that incubation portion of learning or of creation. It's been a couple weeks since I read this book, but I did read it a couple times. I say read, I listen to books. If you guys didn't know, I listen to books because I actually do that. I actually will follow through on completing it if I'm listening as opposed to reading. So one of the things that I learned in James Clear's book Atomic Habits is that if you don't make things easy for you to do, you're not going to make a habit of them. It's not going to be something you do. So it's less about me trying to figure out the best way for me to learn, which Peter Wagner made me think, oh, well, maybe it's listening because I like it so much. And that is somewhat the case, I think, that I like it so much I actually do it, so therefore I retain things better because I'm actually doing them. But I also feel like I pay more attention when listening. So all that to say, guys, figure out how you learn best. I feel like I learn the best when I listen to things and then I speak about them, which is what doing these videos is a part of for me. So figure out how you learn and then do those things. Figure out what you enjoy, the ways in which you enjoy learning. I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy listening to things. I enjoy seeing things. I enjoy talking with people about things and bouncing back and forth topics and ideas. I don't enjoy writing as much. I can do it, and it is a part of my lifestyle, but it's not something that I spend as much time on, though it is very important, I think. And so is reading, and reading out loud. I do all of those things. Don't throw out any one thing, but figure out what you actually gravitate towards and what you will consistently and enjoyably do. So rest, guys. Don't forget to rest. If you're feeling frazzled, if your mind starts moving faster than your body, so the things that you're doing, you're not present in the moment doing them, but you're thinking about the next thing that you're going to be doing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and it's just piling and piling up. Odds are you need to just calm down and rest. You're getting frazzled, and you're about to have a nervous breakdown potentially. If you really do that to yourself for a long period of time, I would know. So anyways, guys, I hope this blesses you, and just have a great day. Bye.